This video loosely covers the HUD Annual Performance Report, known as the APR. It's not a detailed video about the APR itself, rather it's about using the APR as a tool to check the quality of the data that has been entered into your program. Let's go into Service Point and see where this APR exists. It's in the Reports tab, and then you navigate to Provider Reports sub-tab, and close to the bottom here is the link to run the APR. Notice in front of the APR are the letters HUD 40118. That term is synonymous with APR. So HUD 40118 means APR, and APR is synonymous with HUD 40118. The terms are used interchangeably. Here's where we specify the report options. We're not going to cover what these are. They're different for every agency, and suffice it to say, I specified the report options that I needed for my agency, and I ran the report, and I see that the report is divided into sections. Here's section 2, section 3, etc. And within these sections I see numbers of people that have entered my program, and currently I see nothing but zeros, and that means my program is brand new. I haven't entered anybody into my program yet, and so all these categories within the APR have zeros in them. Right. Let's go back to John's profile, and as a review, underneath his profile is an assessment. This agency calls it the standard entry assessment, and it has questions such as gender, date of birth type, etc. Notice that for gender, there's no answer specified here. It's empty, it's blank, it's null, nothing's been specified. We're going to get back to that in just a minute. Let's now create an entry for John and his family into the program. So we go to the orange entry button, we click on it. We see there are no entries. Click on Add Entry. There's 3 sections here. Up at the top are the household members. We can include them, and we will. So all 3 household members are being included into the program. So now the program's going to have 3 people entered into it. Here are the parameters of the entry itself. What is the provider or the program that they're being entered into? Type. You're almost always going to choose HUD 40118. Remember, it's synonymous with APR. Some of you will be choosing HPRP, but everything that you're learning here is transferable to HPRP. It works the same way. Let's go back to HUD 40118 as our type. Entry date defaults to the current date and time. Today is the 6th. We're going to backdate this. We're going to say that these people really entered our program on the 1st, and underneath is a list of questions, and the list of questions are the same questions that we saw back in the client profile. So here's that standard assessment, and let's go back to the entry, and here's the adults and children, gender, date of birth, same question. So this agency chose to repeat these questions in the entry as a final check. Final request to the caseworker to look through these questions and see that all of them have been answered, and if they haven't, please answer them before pressing on the save button or the save and close. But let's say we miss gender again and we leave it blank, and now we press save and close. Now we have our entry. We close this. We go back to the APR, and when we rerun it, we're going to see these numbers change from 0, and these categories are now going to show that 3 people have been entered into our program. Screen's still refreshing. Now it's done. Okay, so for category number 2, this line used to be filled with zeros. Now it has a total of 2 plus 1 for a total of 3. 3 people have been entered into this program. And here's how you use the APR as a tool to check your data quality. Look in these categories for columns where they're asked or specifying that no answer has been given. So for example, here at category 5, age and gender, ages are listed and genders are listed. And off to the right for gender, here's the not given, or the gender not given column, and we see there's a number here, and it's 1, and we can deduce that it's John Doe because there are no males appearing in our program, and for females we have 2. Age range 31 through 50, this must be Jane, and under 1, this must be the daughter. Right? And we can prove it by clicking on these numbers, and we're brought into their profile. Let's save that for this other or not given category. Click on this number here. Who didn't give us a gender, or who does not have a gender specified? Click on the link, a pop-up appears, and we're brought into a list of those people who do not have gender specified, not given. We click on the link, and we're brought into the entry screen. But now we know what we're looking for. We know gender is missing. So here in the entry screen, we click on the pencil next to the entry date, and we go right to gender, and we see, yes indeed, that John Doe did not have a gender specified. This video will end here. It's just talking about how to use the APR as a tool to find where you're missing some data. The next videos are going to cover how to correct this condition.